And we're live. And that's when I said, a horse's rear end? Seriously?
I am recording seriously.
Yeah, I was trying to beat Tim to the punchline.
And then I said, yeah, you get in the back of the costume, pal.
Hootie, hootie, hootie. How about that Super Bowl?
I don't know. I just felt deflated at the end of it.
I had to work.
I felt deflated in the beginning of it.
Oh, okay. You had to work, huh, Martin? There's
Right
a surprise. There's a surprise, huh,
I know.
folks?
Sit down, guys. Sit down. I had to go to work on Sunday during a Super Bowl, and that's a good story. I'll tell this story because this is okay. I'll tell this story.
Whenever you want to start, Martin, everything's recorded.
Right.
Everything's good.
Oh, whatever.
Yep.
I got to stretch. I have Tim's in the notes. I have Tim's mystery bin all queued up, ready for something.
Oh, really?
Something
I better
with
get
this-
something. I better get something.
No, it was the cat thing. I remember.
No. Well, I better prepare it then.
Well, you've got some time.
Pre-
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to Geeksters episode 147. This is a show where we talk about all things geeky. If it has a computer in it, at some point we're going to talk about it. My name is Martin Obando. I'm one of the hosts here. Before we get going, I just want to thank all the sponsors on Podnuts. I don't even want to. You know what? They're too awesome. I don't even want to pick favorites. I don't want to bring this back down to junior high where some favorite or some one of our sponsors gets picked last to be on the softball team or the baseball team. So I want to thank them all. You're all equally awesome. You all get a blue ribbon. Check out the sponsors. Go to podnuts.com, and you can't miss them. They're up at the top. They're in the left. They're in the bottom. They're all over the place. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring us. Host today, we're back. We got a full house still. Again, I miss these guys. When I don't get a chance to see them, my heart yearns for your guys' talks, for your voice. Is that too much? Too soon?
No pressure.
We got Tim,
Gosh.
the man Bauermeister, and Mitch, the master of all disguises, Heyman.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I don't talk all the time, but I hear you in Boxer.
Hey, Mitch, you're missing something there.
Yeah,
On your hand.
I am.
Are you not bowling today?
You know what? I am missing it. Yeah, I was released from the doctor yesterday. Although, he said I can still work. And I forgot to take it to work today. Because it's good, like when I'm out in the warehouse. The few times I do any work at work, it comes in handy. So.
Well, it's also good for sympathy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, my wrist is still sore. Can't you see I'm wearing this god-awful brace?
Or bowling.
Or bowling.
Mm-hmm.
You can go from the bowling alley right to work, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Hey, man. Welcome. Welcome. I feel welcome to be here. Jimmy Christmas. I'm taking over the show. It's a hostile takeover. No, I'm joining you from a wonderful 13 degrees here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But I tell you what, my heart feels at least 20 degrees whenever I see you, Martin.
Aw.
When Martin says it's hot, he wants to switch.
It's 51 degrees and muggy here. So I'll take your 13 degrees because.
Oh, really? Because I gladly trade you.
Yeah, same.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I've spent much of the last week out in the garage laying underneath my girlfriend, and I've had about enough of this cold.
Does your wife know about this?
You know what?
She does now. Thanks, Mitch. Could you edit that out?
Look, here's my wife would say, "Is this going to cost me anything? No. Is this going to take any of my time? No. All right, just go for it."
I'm holding a glass of water, and I salute you.
It's hard to be mom. I mean, you work, these kids. You've all met her husband. Oh my gosh, what a project that is, right? So hey, let's give it up for mom.
That's right. So I'm assuming you're referring to a vehicle of some sort.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. I'm actually not like a real girlfriend.
No, the family truckster.
Oh man.
That's I don't know. I guess when you choose in life to be the guy that fixes the car, you're gonna find times that you have to be in the garage doing it, and it's not all pleasant. But you know what? I've got a garage, and I've got the tools. So there have been times in my life where I had neither, and that's a bad deal. So, and it's fixed, so I'm happy.
Oh, cool. Well, it beats my car. My car's not fixed.
Your car got beat.
My car got
beat your. Well, I tell you what beat your car. A new car beat your car.
Yes. So here's the.
From the pictures, it didn't look real bad, but
Yeah. So here's the story. I drive a 2006 Impala with 155,000 miles on it. And on Saturday, I was taking my daughter to the food bank. She was going to volunteer with her youth group. And all of a sudden, on a 2-lane highway, traffic just stopped. Okay, it does it all the time. So but this kind of caught me off guard. So I told my daughter, hold on, and we stopped. Everything was safe. And I looked, you look in front of you to make sure you're not going to slam into the car in front of you. And then, of course, you look behind you to make sure nobody's going to hit you. Well, just as soon as I looked behind me, this lady just full-on plowed into me. And she pushed my car. My car was at a dead stop. She pushed it about 10 feet, broke my seat behind me, actually.
Really?
And, yeah. Well, wow. I'm a big guy, too, so.
It damaged the seat. It damaged the seat you were in.
Yeah, the seat I was in.
Wow.
So I was okay. My daughter took the whole flopping around thing. It took her completely by surprise. At least I had a chance to see it. So instantly, so that happens. I look up. The car behind her didn't hit her, but then the car behind that one swerved out into the right lane, clipped another car. So just kind of all over the place, and
airbags went off.
Her airbag. So the lady behind me, airbags went deployed. So we stayed still because I get out of the car. First thing I ask my daughter, "Are you okay?" Instantly I go into EMS mode because spent many years doing that. Asking everybody if she's okay, they're okay, everybody okay. Trying to figure out if there's any injuries. I walk up to the lady behind me who hit me, and she's trying to stop her car because she never put it in park after hitting me. So she's trying to get out of the car, and I'm like, great, she's gonna hit me again. So then she puts it in park. Her car is just hissing. Yeah. There's no smoke, but I know something's leaking. I'm like, man, if you could just turn off your car for me, that'd be great. She turns off her car.
For me.
Yeah, because I'm standing between your car and my car.
Yeah, I'll be ready to take your order in a moment.
Thank you, drive-through.
Hi, I'm Martin. I'll be handling your accident today.
Would you like to supersize this? So her airbag did
Were you on roller skates?
Yeah, oh, I wish. Her airbag did deploy, and so we got fire on scene. Police officer was right around the corner. He showed up, and long story short, she had just bought the car 10 minutes ago. Drove it off a lot, brand new 2015 Honda Accord. She said, I just drove this off the car lot 10 minutes ago. I was on my way home.
How awful is that?
Older woman?
Older woman.
Mm.
So the daughter was behind her. So the daughter was also in the accident. Mm. And then people were all up in arms because people started clipping each other. And I'm like, don't look at me.
Yeah, right.
So the insurance company, my insurance company has been talking to me. Their insurance company, they called me up on Monday, and the first thing they said was, we take full responsibility. We're completely liable.
Well, nice.
Those are the magic words I want to hear. Perfect. Nobody went to the hospital. Her car was towed out of the wreck. I drove mine, but I've had two adjusters come and look at it. I've taken it to an auto body shop for her adjuster, and then my adjusters come out and taken a look at it. And then I had they pretty much have said, well, the market value of the car is $5,700, something like that. Which it's worth more than that to me drivable.
Sure.
But to repair it because of all the bumper damage, because the bumpers are only built this year of Toyota Impala, or of Chevy Impalas. The bumpers are built in one place in Canada, and because they're single body, and they have to special order them, and the frame is torqued. Because so basically what it comes down to is the cost to repair it is like $7 more than the car is worth. So they're scratching.
Do you have a coupon?
Yeah, I know. I had a friend say, "Give him $10 and walk away with the car." I'm like, well, I don't have that. But
I don't have it.
They're going to scrap the car. They're counting it a total loss.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have to put any money out since
no.
you took responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't have to put any money out. But it's just now I have to go car shopping. because I need another. Now I need a car, and we just bought my wife her Pilot, which is great, and she loves her Pilot, but that's her car, so. Oh well, it is what it is.
Well, you know what I mean. She hit you so hard it broke your seat.
Right.
It because in the picture, it didn't look bad. But I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a hit. I mean, right there is evidence to me, because I didn't know that till you just said that. I don't think I'd question the whole thing that maybe there was some frame damage. That's a pretty good hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. But
to me, I'm looking at it. It looks like, to me, I don't know. It looked like it might be worth fixing. I mean, you can still get it fixed, but then
for $800 or so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. So that's where now I'm driving a big I'm driving a big minivan.
Mm.
So I go to the car, so they say they're going to put me up in a car. I go to the car dealership, or the rental agency, and they're going to put me up in a sedan, which is fine. That's all I need, just a car to get around. And I get there, and they say, well, all we have is this brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee. It'll cost you out of pocket $17 more per day. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. They said, okay, we're going to get you into another car. We just got to go to the other Enterprise lot. I said, that's great, fine. So they call up them. No, you don't have any. I hear one-sided conversations. You don't have a sedan? Okay, nothing. Is that minivan still there? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to put you up in a minivan. So this minivan is the Chrysler Touring minivan. It's got 2 screens, DVD, leather, plush seats, like everything's electronic. I'm like, how is this any less expensive than the than the other car? So, oh well. Now it's just me in my big old minivan driving around town.
Better be careful. You'll fall in love with it.
I don't think I'm going to at all.
Oh, I think you will.
I like my wife's. Now, if I was driving my wife's Honda Pilot, I like the Honda Pilot. I'm not so keen on the minivan. I don't know. It's just me. It's not that it's not that I can't drive it. Of course I can drive it. I'm just. I don't know. It already attacked me this morning. I guess the seats fold up, but they fold down, but then they fold down and then they flip up. So of course. My face is right in the way, and it smacks me inside the face. So I already the minivan is already the minivan 1, Martin 0, and I just got it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, we had this conversation, a few of us earlier. It's that I don't think anybody buys a minivan because they want a minivan. No, nobody ever wants a minivan, like starting out. But it's once you get it, and you're like, oh, I think I start to get this. Is it a pleasure to drive? No, awful. It's just driving a bathtub. Does it bring out the driving experience where you hug the corners and no. I mean, does it make you feel like you're 18? No, it makes you feel like you're 80. But it's like but the utility of it. See, the phrase sport utility vehicle is a joke because most sport utility, they're neither sporty, and they usually don't have that much utility to them. Especially a lot of the newer ones that they're not body on frame, they're not usually don't have larger engines, they don't have a lot of towing capacity. There's not that much sport or utility to them. To me, the minivan was no sport to it, but it always just seemed like the ultimate utility because within a matter of not even minutes. I can go from hauling 7 passengers to 4x8 sheets of plywood, and the list of things that I've had in the back of this vehicle. I've been stuck, and we're actually on our second one, and it's nearly worn out.
They're very comfortable. I mean, because door has the same thing as you do.
Right.
And we rode it last year, and I was in the passenger side. Very, very comfortable. A lot of room. I really enjoyed it.
Maybe here's I think I know what it comes down to. Deep down, I spent 8 years inside of a van.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's all I did. I lived inside of a van. Sometimes it was for 12-hour shifts. Sometimes it was 8-hour shifts. Sometimes it was 48-hour shifts. And I would live inside of a van. And so, I think getting in the back of a van, I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah, I had a 75 Chevy, 3-speed on a column. It had carpet in there, had a bed in there, had my 8-track player, and I was a rockin'. But you don't.
Man. Yeah. Oh, why would anybody ever give that up?
I did. That was before I was married. A lot of people wanted to borrow that van too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know. You know why? Don't play dumb.
Like my brother.
Tim's wearing lots of flannel today. I can see.
Yeah. They had to move a couch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, it's the minivan. It truly is a horrible, horrible vehicle. But the thing is that it really solves a lot of issues in a busy life, especially if you've got families. So, and I tell you what, we've had two of the Chryslers. Those people got it figured out. I mean, with all the cup holders and all that crap, it really seems kind of cheesy, but when it comes right down to it, you get into a car that's only got, it's like, where's the cup holder? Well, we've only got this. No, that's not enough cup holder. I need another cup holder. And there's little power outlets. The seats like the bench seat, the center of it would pull out, and it actually had child seats like built into it. It's like, that's just genius. I mean, it's just a lot of like all the little hooks to hang your shopping bags on, just all that little crazy crap. It really they really are have a lot of the, when you have a busy life and the family and all this stuff, you got to run around, all the things, everything going on, just all those little things. It really does kind of add up to solving some of the bigger problems in your life. So I'm not selling them. Like I said, I hate the thing. Every year on my children's, on their birthdays, I tell them, I said, before you we had a two-seater, and after you we have a two-seater, and I figure I only got, it's now this X number of years until me and your mother are back in that two-seater, because you're out of here, and that's like 18 minus whatever they are now. And so this is a season of life. I don't believe that the minivan is the solution for everybody, but in the season of life I'm in. And I'll tell you what, Martin, the height of that driver's seat, the height that it's at, the older I get, I find that I do like having the height of that driver's seat, roughly the height of my backside. I just slide in and out.
Yeah. Well,
It's like a power lift chair.
I can always get a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, that's a good one. I'll never get old if I have one of them. Well, I wouldn't get any older.
Right.
I guess that's what I meant. Anywho, well, I'm glad you're okay, because that was a bad deal, man.
We're all safe and doing fine. There's no injury, so that's we all walked away from everybody involved walked away. So right there, that's a blessing. So
good deal.
Everything else is just a hunk of metal.
That's right. How about the lady that hit you? I mean, this is a brand new car. Was there any sad story that came out of that? Was she okay, or?
She was fine. The fire department came on scene, checked her out. She declined to go anywhere, but her arms were all her hands were pretty bruised up because of the airbag. Her face looked a little red, and usually that's from being slapped at 200 miles an hour in the face.
She got hurt really bad from the airbag in the accident. She was hurt more from that than from the actual accident.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about her car, which is, I don't expect to. I'm not calling her up to say, hey, how's it going?
No. Yeah, you're buddies now.
We're
right.
We're BFFs.
And there you go, folks. You never, ever get the rust proofing. She would have been gone like hours before.
That's right. And well, the funny thing was, I was, like I said, I was taking my daughter to a location, and my GPS kept telling me, turn left and go up some streets and then cut over because that's going to be faster. And I'm like, nope, I'm just going to stay on this road all the way to 170th and then make a left. And I should have listened to my GPS. The one-time GPS was going to drive me into security and safety.
Wow.
So I don't know. Maybe I should trust my GPS more often. Maybe the Google car can't come fast enough for me. Then
yeah, you just get slammed. You have those things running in the back of you.
Well, or they just drive me around. Then that's not my fault. It's not their fault.
The Google car. The Google car.
It has been the topic of news, hasn't it?
Has been what?
The topic of news lately, Google car.
Yeah.
I heard
it was a Google minivan, actually. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
I don't know much about it. It looked like a minivan
awful.
with a missile launcher on it. So
that's one thing that most minivans are. That's what's missing from the minivan.
The missile launcher.
Would you get it? Would you get a minivan that had a missile launcher?
Only if it has the launching codes.
0000.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
It's so easy a kid could do it. So the one thing my son and I did do on Saturday night is that we, this is kind of just a side note, we went and watched American Sniper.
Okay.
Every
And
American should see that movie. I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Know that it's an intense movie. It's not it's different from every other kind of war movie I've seen. It's you're kind of placed right in the action. It's not this you don't have this distant feeling like you do with something like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers. Good movies, but you have this distant feeling where you're kind of watching the action go on around you and not really part of it. American Sniper kind of pulls you right in, and you're right there, right in the middle of it. And good movie, but just know that it's heavy.
Every American should see that movie. For real, really.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Who's in that?
Bradley Cooper plays Chris Kyle, and but it's Clint Eastwood directs it, and I think it's up for an Academy Award.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Just ringing a bell, and I couldn't quite place it.
So, I haven't done a whole lot of computer stuff this week.
Well, I did.
Uh-oh.
Take it away, Mitch. It's the Mitch Show, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Mitch.
I'll play my little music there. It seems like since Thanksgiving, every Saturday since Thanksgiving, not every Saturday, but quite a few, I'm like helping friends, and they're either upgrading to a new PC and setting it up for them, or and this other friend of mine, close friend of mine, he got a new laptop, but I upgraded his old one, which had a Vista on it. It was a HP whatever, one of the DV, but it runs alright. But it had a Vista on it, so I put more RAM in it and I put Windows 64-bit. And he goes, "Well, if you would have done this first, I probably wouldn't have bought the new one, And so that got that running good, got him all set up, and I'm done now. I don't think I'm working on anything for a while because I need a break. Not on a Saturday. I need a break.
Yeah.
That's what
Because you've been working on Windows 8,
No.
Windows 7. Well, no, you had been though. Wait, sorry, 8.1.
I think they were all Windows 7 machines I've been working on. Let me see. No. Yeah. Now another guy recommended. Oh well, yeah, I did have another job. He, I think I had it last week's show. I had a N4 AMD Enforce 2 board. If you know how old those things were. I forgot the chip with the Barton chips in it, CPUs, AMD CPUs, and they were good back in the day. But this thing's like 10 years old or older, and I couldn't get it to boot up. I mean, I played with it and I finally did, but it would just get a hardware monitor in the BIOS, and it wouldn't go up. And I'm just playing with the IDE cable, and so I got it to boot up, but it was just too slow to do anything. I told him, and it was a clone. Somebody built this computer, like it had 2 screws holding a hard drive in. It was missing screws or standoffs on the motherboard. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, so I asked, so he went and bought an HP desktop with Windows 8, and so he asked me, can you back up my stuff on it? Yeah, sure. So I backed up all his 30 megabytes of stuff, and that was it. Called it a day. So 30 megabytes of stuff. Nothing on there.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's like you're like done.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me pull out my stack of floppies here. And all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he only had 160 gig hard drive. I knew it wasn't much. I worked on this machine several times before. But, he's had a rude awakening with Windows. He's telling me that he got it. I think he got it yesterday. The HP machine, Windows 8.1. And it shut down by itself. He had a screen cut and everything. It turns itself off. To no, Gary. It went to sleep. It's not turned off. So, have you messed around with the Metro apps yet? The what? So he's got a learning curve to go through.
I have a feeling somebody's going to walk in the door behind me.
Oh.
The printer just.
Oh.
Oh well, it's a live show. Hey, we podcast from home. I have I was gonna say, oh, there is something nice about going to work on somebody's computer that's a bit older, and you get there and you realize that you bought them a new computer, or you set up a new computer for them, and this new computer has 500 gigs or a terabyte hard drive and stuff like that, and you get to their old computer and you go, it's an old computer, and you open it up and you're like, wait a minute, it only has an 80 gig hard drive.
Yes.
Okay, this can't be that bad. Like really, I'm not gonna be copying hundreds of gigs of data. I have a flash drive that'll probably handle all this, and you go, oh, you have 30 megs of data. Sweet.
Yeah.
And 29.9 megs of that are favorites. You're like, all right, awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, what could it be? It's 30 megs.
Not music.
It's not a picture.
That's right. Or it's not a good picture at that.
Hey, all my buddies, my other buddies that I set up with Windows 7 on this Vista machine. This is so comical. I got a picture of it. I'm going to put it on Facebook. I haven't done it yet. But he took a picture with his digital camera of the desktop of Vista. So when I set everything up, it's going to look exactly the same with the icons because he's real anal. OCD about the shortcuts and everything. So I took a picture of him. He's got this Magnifox, and he's looking at it. He's got a Sony digital camera, and he's looking at the picture snapshot. He's looking at the backup. And he's got this magnifying glass. Magnifying glass. Looking at the icons on the back of his camera. That's so comical. And he's like, he gets all upset. Why is this icon over there? How come it's not there? What is this? It's just very comical. But I love it.
Lock down a screen.
Yeah. I said, I got to teach him how to do screen capture. Well, at least somebody likes our show today.
There's one person. I did have a user. This is the 3D company that I take care of. All right, so since we're all laughing about it, Johnny says in the chat room, and now this is going to be forever ingrained into this, is that she says, what did she say? I just scrolled up. She says she's going to pee herself if she keeps watching this. Now, I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I don't know. These
Geeksters, causing incontinence for 140. How many episodes now?
7.
For 147 episodes now. Geeksters.
Hey, I think you know what I know we have a new demographic. We can go out for our sponsorships.
Minivan drivers.
What do you think? Minivan drivers? I don't know. It depends. No, okay. Please tell me somebody out there got that. All right.
Yeah, I got it. Well, no, and I was thinking of the those that Insomniacs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't. Anyways, this company, the 3D company computer, they bought these desktop replacement laptops. They're huge. They're thick Dell laptops, but they're 17-inch screens. They're a good 1.5 inches thick when closed, maybe 2 inches. They're beasts. But what's happening is there's a bad video driver on them or something, and so there's something hardware, and they have to keep sending them back to where they bought them because the screens will flash in and out. So I brought them both home because I took out the hard drive out of one and put it in the other, and it didn't boot up. And what was happening was in the BIOS you can either set for ACHI, ATA, or RAID, and it was set for RAID, and so I switched it back to ACHI, or is it ATA? Which one's newer?
Advanced host configuration.
Yeah.
Okay, so switched it to ACHI, and then it worked just fine. But the RAM was wrong. So this particular model has 2 gigs of RAM. They flip the motherboard over, flip the laptop over, and there's a place for that snaps off like normal, just a normal cover for the hard drive. But the hard drive kind of goes in an angle. It's the weirdest thing. It actually angle it in and then flat and then push it in, and it kind of slides under another bezel. So it's a weird thing. But then you take these 2 screws off of this big bezel and you pull it toward you, and it just slides off. It's one giant piece. So the whole back comes off as a single piece. 2 gigs there. The other 2 gigs are under the keyboard.
Keyboard, yeah.
But to get to the keyboard, all you do is you just pull the space between the keyboard and where the hinges are. Usually there's some kind of that's where the power buttons are, the lights, whatever like that. That just pops off. You can just pull it off. And then there's 4 screws for the keyboard that keep the keyboard in place. Take those out, and the keyboard actually just slides in. It's not connected to a ribbon. It is connected to a ribbon, but at the very bottom of the keyboard they kind of look like USB pins. The whole thing just slides in, and so it all comes out as one piece. So I've never seen one like that before.
Clever.
Yeah, it actually worked out really good. So transferred all the memory over to the new system, and it's up and running. But these things, they have their own inverter on the power supply to regulate power. So you just can't, most of them just have the small little brick or something like that. Yeah. And they're Dell computers. So I thought, well, I'll bring them home. I'll use mine. They won't work. I have to use their special ginormous brick of a power supply. So things like that. I had to go to during the Super Bowl. I ended up getting called out. One of my clients, their water heater started to leak, and their water heater is in the same cabinet as their servers.
I was gonna say, what don't you fix?
You're a plumber too?
I imagine you bring it. You're like, oh yeah, I got a couple in the back of the minivan. You're just delivering it. Well, what is that? Is that 50 gallon, 60 gallon? Yeah, I got both. Don't matter.
I called Martin the plumber.
Yeah, hey, it looks like you got some computers over there.
What's that crap? No, it's Martin.
Oh gosh. Hey, we don't hurt computers, but sometimes computers get hurt.
Accidents happen.
Accidents, that's right, man.
So I had to pull out, everything had to come out. All the servers, all the computers, all the monitors, everything had to come out of this closet, and then put it back in headless. I didn't put any monitors or anything with it. So that way the servers, because that's where all the cables come out of the wall, come right there. So I had to put the switch back in and everything there. They're back up and running, but it's just everything's kind of on the floor until they get that replaced. But that was one of the things where they wanted to have it finished by Monday morning. This was Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. And
oh man, that's like triple time.
So I did go down. I left right after halftime. So I walked. I was listening to the game, but I walked back into where I was watching it with a whole bunch of friends, and it had a minute to go. So I missed all the. I watched the first half and part of the third, but I missed all the good stuff.
It was a good game, real good game, really.
I recorded, so don't tell me how it ended.
And you don't know?
Yeah, I know. No, yeah, I was out in the garage laying underneath my girlfriend, so I record all of it. I watched probably the first couple minutes. I watched some about halfway through, and I thought, I'm gonna leave it go. So I'm glad I recorded, because I've listened to a lot of the discussion this week about the games. So I look forward to watching it for myself, and I'm sure agreeing with all the discussion I've heard. So, but it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Super Bowl, it's one of those things. It's totally awesome if you got a team that's, of course, I don't know, Martin, you're as close as you're ever going to have having a team in it. Are you a football fan at all?
I am. I'm a Niners fan.
Okay. So, was this like an event? Because, if Pittsburgh was in the Super Bowl, this would be like a major event.
Right.
In my home, in my neighborhood, in my town. Not so much for you?
Well, do you mean because they're Seattle?
Yeah.
They beat the Niners, so I've never really had an allegiance to them. I don't like Richard Sherman. I like what's his name? The quarterback.
Russell. Okay.
I like Russ Wilson. I like the fact that he has been invited to go play for the Rangers during training camp, spring training. So he's leaving. He's going to put the football up for a while, and because he played baseball for the Rangers for a while before he.
He's not doing it anymore.
No, but he's going back to. I think he's.
No. That was.
I bet you he gets picked up and he's going to play baseball. He's going to be like Bo Jackson.
Yeah, he's going to be making a lot more money next year.
Well, sure. Yeah. But
ball's done.
He's the next Bo Jackson.
You should hire him to do IT work too.
But he is.
I think he's got a minivan.
Hey, he's got minivan money.
He is a little guy. Not very good.
Hey, we need to break into this house to fix these computers. Hey, could you crawl through the window? You're a little guy.
Mini quarterback. Minivan.
You can move. And the dog's coming at you. Hey, I've seen you run around on the field. You just run right into that house there, and you just grab those computers. No worry, I've got a permission slip.
Oh man, no wonder you're so busy. You're running one of them IT businesses where you have to crawl in and out of a lot of windows.
Well, somebody's got to pay the bills.
Flashback.
That's great.
Flashback.
What is that thing?
It's a what do you call it? Not a track. What do you
Is that
call
one of them reel-to-reels?
it? Cassette. Yeah. I forgot what it was called. From 1980.
What's on it? Does that have like?
Me and some band members.
Oh, it's music.
Yeah.
Flock of Seagulls.
Nah. Just stuff.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Stuff that doesn't sound good from 1980, 82, 81.
Flock of Seagulls. Ozzy Osbourne.
I don't know.
So it's not data.
Well, it could be data.
My first computer had the only storage device my first computer had was a cassette recorder.
Oh
Really?
yeah. So
Wow.
you guys, I'm older than you guys, but you guys have been into computers longer than I.
Well, my first computer was running DOS. It could have run Windows 3.1, something like that, but it was an old. I think it was a 486 or something like that.
1996 for me.
Yeah, that would have been 92, 93, somewhere right around there. I got in so much trouble when I hooked it up to the internet. Because oh my goodness. I was told not. Well, I think specifically I was told not to hook it up to the internet, and I did.
Oh gosh, that's the most honest thing. That's the most honest thing I've ever heard anybody say here.
I used to connect to those.
What happened? What are you talking about? You got in trouble?
Well, my dad didn't want me to do it, and I did it anyways.
Oh,
It was dial-up, so you couldn't have been getting too much stuff.
Well, no, but it was just my dad's weird, and he was so he's. I mean, I guess now that I'm a dad, I guess that all parents are just weird, coming from a 15-year-old point of view.
Yeah.
No, he just was really worried about security, and just because of the fact that it was going to be online meant that somebody could get in and get stuff, and so.
And he was very right.
Well, yeah, not then, but I just spent my time in a BBS stuff.
I was supposed to say, yeah, I was cool doing that. Like libraries had a lot of those bulletin board things. It was kind of cool back in the day. Do you remember the first time you tried Linux, and you could never get online? They used to if you had those software modems, but if you had those ISA hardware modems, they would
Cradle.
Work. You know what I'm talking about, Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would work, but a software Windows modem would not work. But if you had an ISA modem, they would work. So,
Kind of like what's that movie?
a hardware modem.
War Games.
There it is. That's the movie. That's the one.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a game?
We're doing a show right now. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. That's all right. All right.
Great movie. Great
Yeah.
movie. I tell you what tech movie that that old that really stands up. I mean, it's all very dated, but it really holds up. That's a movie Hollywood needs to revisit.
Mhm.
No, I think they should. Well, they should just let it be. I don't want to read.
How about loosely based upon?
All right. I still disagree. No.
Okay.
They can remake Hackers until the day is old. I don't care. But I think there's things like War Games. You just don't touch it.
How about Ferris Bueller's Day Off Part 2?
Don't touch it.
Bueller?
It's like
Bueller.
I mean, Ferris Bueller he's still alive. I mean, he's in his 40s and he's.
You mean you want the original cast to come back and redo the whole movie?
Yeah, and he needs a day off from work or whatever he's doing now.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off with pudding, because he's old. And never mind.
It's just an hour and a half of him perusing the garden, smelling flowers, and complaining about aches and pains. He wrecks his Jazzy.
His walker falls over. He falls down. He can't get up.
That's right. He goes swimming in one of those in his tub that now has one of those tubs that has the door on it. Just see
with a sports therapy tub.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick is 52.
See?
That man needs a day off.
He does. He totally needs a day off. All right. Well, I'm going to read you an email. So sit back, relax.
I'm going to listen to one.
Here's an email. So last week, not last week, the week before, we talked about pixie booting,
Yeah.
and we received an email regarding pixie booting.
Wow. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. This is from Richard Stevens. He says, "Hi folks, I remember listening to one of the podcasts about Pixie Boot servers, and I thought I would come to share some info. I'm mostly Windows users, so I wish to mention some Pixie Boot servers for Windows that also happen to be free. The first option I know about is a program called Servia. It's SERVA. It's a multifunction DHCP, FTP, or TFTP, HTTP. TFTP is Trivial File Transfer Protocol, etc. boot program that comes in free and commercial versions. With it, you can run Pixie Boot server in Windows, even with the free version. The process of setting up the Pixie Boot server is somewhat involved, but may be worth it to those who to learn how things work. Here's a great tutorial available, and there's a link, and all these links are going to be in the show notes, of course. That simplifies this a lot. Also, because Servia supports proxy DHCP, you can run this Pixie Boot program without needing to mess with your current DHCP server settings. I should mention that the Pixie Boot server you create with the free version of Servia will time out after 1 hour. There's another Pixie server program available that's very basic, but is both free and very easy to use. It's from Ameo something tech. It's AOMEITECH. Now that you had, so he says that you had mentioned before. Okay, it's only available for Windows, but it's very easy to use. You just run the program and select the ISO you want all the clients to run. Unfortunately, it supports only one ISO at a time. I'm a long-time listener and hope the Podnuts network will only go from strength to strength. And that's from Richard Stevens. So I'm thinking what he's mentioning with this, the second one here, is that, and I'm gonna throw. Let me throw these links in the chat here. But the second one he's talking about, that would be great in like a lab environment. So you have all of the computers that you want to boot up to a live CD, because that's what it sounds like that one that's doing. Or you have all the computers you want to boot up to, say, run SpinRite or something like that. You can't really choose which one you want, and that's the how would you spell that? AOMEITECH. Omitech, Aomitech.
Yeah.
Like that. So he says that that's the one that only boots up to one ISO. That would be, like I said, that would be great in a lab environment where you want all the computers to boot up into one. The other ones, it looks like you can choose what ISOs and make it, or what images, and make it more like the Linux version where you get a menu. So I thought this was a great email from Richard, and with some solutions that I had never heard of. If somebody wants to mess with the Pixie Boot server.
Sweet. That's great. Thanks for weighing in.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other email that we received was from Raymond. Raymond. And I'm not going to pronounce his last name. This is the gentleman who has sent in many emails regarding I am completely drawing a blank. Regarding the Active Directory, kind of the Active Directory cleanups with PowerScript, with PowerShell. So this is from him. It's kind of a long email, but he just talks about some of the new scripts that he has, but it's funny because he starts off and says, then I suppose he says, well, if you're going to mention my name, then I suppose I can write in with more stuff. Actually, I've been meaning to write in, it's just been busy. Yes, I still use my scripts to remove the old computer accounts from Active Directory, and yes, I'm also working on one for other user accounts. Yes, these are semi-specific to my Active Directory infrastructure, but I'll work to make scripts generic enough to share. With all that out of the way, I wanted to mention something about the script I wrote. I wrote that rather long script because I needed to act upon the operating system for reporting, which is a value any Microsoft Windows machines will populate when it joins the domain. At some point, however, this field will blank itself out if the machine does not report within a specific amount of time, within a specific time frame. And then it goes on and talks about searching for PowerShell and some scripts and stuff like that. So all of these emails will be in our show notes, but I didn't want to keep going on because it's just a lot of it's a lot of PowerShell commands. At the very end, he does say that, obviously, I do enjoy working in PowerShell too much, but it's just the way to manage Windows systems going forward, especially in enterprise environments. If you want more explanations, examples, or anything else to deal with within PowerShell, let me know. I love to poke around with the idea and help out. for those interested in learning more about PowerShell on their own, I would invite them to the PowerShell.org website, which contains helpful forums, free ebooks on PowerShell and the PowerShell DSC, and a podcast called the Power Scripting Podcast with John Waltz and Hal Rottenberg, at least one of which is a PowerShell MVP. They have a lot of hooks in that community for their podcast. Another good spot for beginners is Hey Scripting Guy blog by Ed Wilson, where he puts some of the PowerShell scripts in daily, and they can both be in depth or just generic first-time questions. Sorry for splatting out my consciousness to you, but if I did not sit down and but if I did not just sit down and do it, then it may have never been said. I will now go spend many hours at Cybrary, you mentioned, because it seems interesting. As always, keep on being awesome. I love the Geeksters show. Thank you for sharing so much information and being one of the most interesting trio of hosts in the podcast world. Thanks, Raymond. There we have it.
Awesome.
Did he included me? Trio?
He said trio. He was just shy of saying the trifecta of fun.
Unless he meant Rev was right.
But I can read that. But I can read between the lines. So I know he meant to write trifecta of awesomeness. But trio will work.
Gosh, can we vote on this crap before we start the show?
You don't like it? What? We did vote.
Did we?
You were late.
Well, I guess yeah. You only need 2 for it to pass. I get like half a vote anyway.
Well, then you don't like my my.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I know it sounds like a lot of things. Maybe we'll discuss it later.
All right. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this after the show. This will be an after show discussion.
Yeah, I know what discussion means. Yes, Martin. Whatever you say, Martin.
You know me. I'm the thumb. I'm the law.
He seems nice on the show.
Do not go to a podcast. Do not go to a conference with me. I am a big giant bully.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Funny.
One of the other links that I had come across is this is actually from Mark Russinovich. He's the gentleman who wrote Sys Internals.
Yeah.
He also has a couple great novels out there.
It's fantastic. But
this is a malware hunting with Sys internal tools, and so I think this is like it's a hour and 26 minutes and actually 36 seconds. But you go to the website, there should be links, and you can watch this video. And and you can actually download it. There's an option to download it, so that's nice if you don't have a chance to sit down in front of your computer and you're traveling. But this looks like a great video. I have not had the hour and a half to do it, but what it says is Mark provides an overview of several sysinternal tools, including Process Monitor, Process Explorer, and Autoruns, focusing on the features useful for malware analysis and removal. These utilities enable deep inspection and control of processes, file system and registry activity, and auto-start execution points. And then he looks like he goes through and he actually gives you demonstrations, and from what the little bit that I have seen, gives you demonstrations and what to look for. So a great way to do some hunting for some malware tools. And the only other link that I have, then you guys will be available to freely talk without my interruptions, is the new quadcopter that I want. If you haven't seen this one, this person takes a quadcopter and puts a Millennium Falcon shell around it and lights it up and has the whole thing, and he flies around in this field and it looks like the Millennium Falcon is flying around.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. I told my wife that's what I wanted, and she said, okay.
Why don't you just get that? I mean, you're looking for a new vehicle anyway.
Well, if I last time I tried to sit on my quadcopter, it didn't go so well.
No, a Millennium Falcon.
Oh, I thought you meant a quadcopter.
Oh, no. I can't make that noise. I should have practiced. What's the noise? Make the chewy noise. I can't do it. Oh.
That's not the chewy noise.
It's well, in my mind it was.
It sounded great in your mind.
So I'm not a Star Trek fan.
Me either.
This is Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Geeksters. This is going to be their final episode.
We're gonna have a record amount of correspondence next week. Like, I don't know. We have like 200 emails. I don't know why.
Wait a minute. What did you?
All angry.
What did you say? You're not a
Star Trek geeks.
Oh, I thought you said Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what he was saying, but
because I like Star Trek better than Star Wars. I'm older, so.
Yeah. You remember that one? You remember that one where what was that dude? From the he drove the ship around. What was his name again from Star Trek?
Captain Kirk.
Yeah. Remember that one where he?
Remember that one guy? Oh yeah, the captain.
Remember everyone.
Remember that? Remember where he fought the Ewoks? Remember that one? That was pretty good.
The little fur babies, or?
Yeah, Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Fought the Ewoks.
I don't even know if I can do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't. Wanted a new host for the Geeksters.
Everybody I know eventually comes to that conclusion.
Space.
If this microphone wasn't attached to this arm, I would drop it.
Space. The final frontier.
It's so funny.
Jim, please behave. Hey.
All right.
I'll
be good. I'll be good.
All right. Actually, I do want to interrupt one more time. We have a voicemail from Blackhammer.
Interrupt. Interrupt what?
You know, you
that
guys.
Crap. We got a voice. Oh, that's right. We have a voicemail.
Would you like to hear this voicemail?
Did it just come in?
Jeff Owens.
Well, no, it came in on the 18th.
All right.
Well,
serious. Very serious.
All right, I'm playing it right now. Listen up. Here it goes.
This is for Geeksters. Hi, guys. Jeff Owens here. Got a couple questions for you. One was just listening to the show Man Down with Mitch and talking to Martin. I had a similar problem to what Mitch said about his buddy Googling Verizon. I actually was on the phone with my mother-in-law and told her to Google TeamViewer and install TeamViewer. She clicked on the first one. I had just like 7, 8 adware, Optimizer Pro, all this stuff I had to take off. Now on, I take everybody to Nynite.com, click TeamViewer and download it, and works just fine. She is in a wheelchair and has arthritis really bad. Not real tech savvy, but she was able to go that way, and then I got on and said, oh, you're infected. Ooh, I got to clean this laptop up. And we're 150 miles apart, and we're great. So that's kind of my recommendation. You mentioned you got somebody go to TeamViewer, Nynite.com, or as they say, Dinite. Sorry, Dinite. The other thing was regarding, Martin, this is for you. I am very cautious with WSUS, with updates. I heard you say you just go ahead and approve them, send them all out. Do you not have any clients that use your services that have issues with Internet Explorer 10, 11, or having certain updates that break? We, for example, use Honda and the Honda portal for all of our quotes, and that's 85% of our business, the manufacturer itself. They're Internet Explorer 8 compatible. So we had some issues with the guy, and they told me with his Windows 7 machine, uninstall IE9, take it back to IE8, and that'll help fix everything. It didn't. It absolutely didn't. We can run IE10 and 11 in compatibility view, but yeah, that didn't work at all. So I was just curious, Martin. I heard you say on a previous show you just approve them all, let them fly. So as always, guys, keep up the good work. I salute you, and I look forward to seeing you next year at the Linux Fest. Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I just let them fly, like old West style. No, I do have computers that and users that right now, even to this day, can't use IE 11. They have to be on 10. So everything does get updated, and then and these are. So here's the problem. I have same clients in the same office using the same application, and some of them will use IE 11 and it works fine. Some of them have to use IE10. Some of them can be in 11 with compatibility mode. So I never know until I test these out what they're going to run and how it's going to work. So I do a lot of the majority, but I know during specific ones which ones not to allow and which ones to allow. So I don't just say, oh well, go ahead, we'll fix it afterwards. But there is a little bit of there is some of that where I have to I release the patches because I'm going to catch 90% of the people that's good, and the other 10% of the people I'll go back and just and 10% is one or two. I'll go back and fix and repair.
But that's where where there's a chance that it might work. I mean, if
Right.
you're dealing with an office where they have a piece of software that absolutely demands this, I mean that's and now you're installing the updates. You do it through your remote management software. Is that right?
It depends on the client. Some of the clients.
That's all right. So all right, I wasn't sure about
Right.
that.
Right. So some of the clients who do not have my remote management software have, will use the WSUS server. Some of my clients who do have my remote management software still will use the WSUS server because I haven't pulled it out yet. But I'll be transitioning over to my remote management software to save space on the server.
Okay. So and that's what I heard him say. I heard it say WSUS, and I thought, in the but that's a good answer if they're not paying for the service and they're not getting it. But it's actually. I'm sure that it's actually quite easy to blacklist certain updates in the remote management software, and I know that I had to do that a number of times where new versions of Internet Explorer came out. It's like, whoops, it just broke this, and so we had to make an exception for that office and make sure that didn't happen again.
Yeah, and I've gone back through those offices, and so if it doesn't work for one person, I just go back through and I blacklist it, and I say don't deploy. Again, that way, when inevitably it will break, even if it was running on 11, it'll be running on 11, or on Monday. Tuesday we got to put it in 11 with compatibility mode, and come by Thursday we have to take it all off and go back to 10.
Yeah.
And that's all on the same computer. So by the time that I do it for one person, I'll already blacklist it out of my WSUS server so it doesn't come back in. That way, if it happens again, I already know that it's we've already blocked it out. And I've had to do that, and it works fine. And this one user has not had any issues since doing that. I've been in contact with this company. They know that there is an issue, and they're maybe kind of going to sometimes work on the problem to get it resolved. So, but the problem I run into with this is that, and maybe this may be just me, is that we have Internet Explorer, which we all know is not a great operating system. It has full of holes, so they do patch problems with it and they release it. But yet we have customers, or we have clients out there who need to use Internet Explorer to access a certain piece of software, but the software is not keeping up with them. So we have to, for the sake of functionality, we have to unlock the doors and leave them open so that they can use this product. And I find that that's frustrating as their IT guy, because what am I supposed to do? It's we do the best we can, and it's just I wish that companies would work together to resolve this problem, because it's not fair for my clients to allow to Swiss cheese put these giant holes into their security system, in their security policy for the sake of being able to run this one app, which they have to run the app, so we have to Swiss cheese it, but it's frustrating.
So we have issues too, where we recently switched to our portal, our HR services. We can go online, and at work we can't use Internet Explorer. We still have XP on machines. And you can't go beyond 8 with them, so we can use Chrome on those machines, but they're just not. They should have the same thing on all the machines that work at 8 on. We still got XP, Windows 7, and they need to get rid of these old machines.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was just thinking about this the other day, that you're right. This is an issue that hey, your hand is forced. What are you going to do? You have to open it up. You have to open the gate and leave it open. So you just have to find some way of keeping that open gate watched, so that and if anything were to wander through it, that it's quickly mitigated. But I was thinking the other day that it's so much better than it used to be. It wasn't that long ago that you would dial up some government websites like, you got to use Internet Explorer, or you go to some other website, well, you have to do this. Right. You can go to, I don't even remember where I was, but I went to some. I think maybe I was renewing license plates or something online. But I was thinking back to and that's the thing. I don't even know what browser I used to open. And I thought, what? How strange that I would have been like shocked if it was like that it just wouldn't have opened. We've become very accustomed to that. Things have, there is a lot of compatibility that's, over the years. They finally got everything kind of working, and a lot of these limitations are gone. But it wasn't that long ago that no, it doesn't work with this browser. You have to use Internet Explorer. Oh, you would be like, you'd be thrown into a tailspin now if you got a message like that. But that used to be very common not that long ago.
Yeah. Well, and
better.
Well, it is getting better, but there's still a lot of products out there and a lot of applications that you have to use Internet Explorer. It won't work with Chrome, and it won't work with Firefox.
Yeah.
If it does work with those, I say use those. Definitely use those, because you're not going to get the issue that says, oh, I'm sorry, but this product won't work with Firefox 35. It only work with Firefox 12. You don't see that. You just see, oh, it just works. If it works in 12, it's going to work in 35.
I think 12. That's because 12 was that 7 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was Tuesday. But yeah, you're right. That's the point is that you see there is definitely consistency if that an application will work. If it works in Firefox old, any of the new ones it's going to continue to work with. Where in Internet Explorer, you go, uh-oh, there's a new version of Internet Explorer. Like what's the new one coming out? Shotgun, Heat Blast.
Oh, I like both.
What was that, Mitch?
Flamethrower.
I forgot the name of it already. But
anyways, the new one coming out, the fancy new one that's going to come out with 10. Spartan.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh.
I like yours better, Martin.
Fireball. Anyways, so what's going to happen now? This new one's going to come out, and you're going to update, but it's not going to work. Jeff knows that he can't upgrade to the newest Fireball Spartan throwing Internet Explorer thing because he can't, because he's got to sit 5 revisions back on Windows 8 or on IE 8.
You're so confused.
I mean,
and
that's a problem.
Everybody is. That's what they do to you. They wear you down.
And that's a problem. So that needs to get fixed.
Hey, great call, by the way. Great emails and everything. I really appreciate it, guys. Did you see, what is this? Windows 10, a little version of Windows 10 is going to run on the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
You see that?
So that's right.
What is this world that I live in? What is this? I woke up in some strange new world. Either that is a small glimpse into a really awesome future where this company maybe is turning it around, or it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
So yeah,
flip a coin. Who knows?
So the Raspberry Pi 2 went on sale. This would have been Tuesday, Groundhog Day.
Maybe that explains everything.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. It's Groundhog Day. It's let's see. So it has more powerful. So this says the new Raspberry Pi 2 model here. I just happened to go to this website. It's Web Update. It's actually a Linux site, but Raspberry Pi Model B features a much more powerful CPU, a 900 MHz quad-core ARM Cortex A7, twice as much RAM as the old Model B Plus, which is what I have. So it now has a gig of RAM, and yeah, it says it will run. It's going to do something with Windows 10. How is Windows 10 going to run on this processor?
I understand. Well, it's an ARM processor.
Yeah. But it's still $35. They didn't raise the price.
As I recall, it's a free version of Windows 10, right? That's gonna run on it.
Well, so this isn't the same free version that everybody else gets coming up here?
Well, I can't imagine, but the article I read, that they kind of likened it to Windows RT that was supposed to run on smaller, it was a lightweight version that run on smaller devices that they killed. But that this would be a free, and I kind of got the impression that they're like, hey, this is a small device. It's in the hands of hobbyists. That maybe this is the doorway of all of these small devices where it's really another way of looking at the computer and how people relate to it. The computer isn't a thing that you sit in front of. It's this or just and do this. It's no longer in this box. The computer is a thing that people are attaching to this. They're building like smokers with the Raspberry Pi, and it's attached to their washing machine and their fridge. The computer is like all of a sudden it's almost undefinable, all the things that it does, from its biggest to its smallest. And so, hey, I give them a lot of credit for saying, here, take this, see if And to me, look, I'm no apologist. I just like seeing another option, somebody else in the ring, because hey, competition is great. The more people are doing it, it's going to make whatever ends up being the best will only be better by the other contenders. And so but at the same time, also I find this curious. As a spectator, I like to sit back. I'm thinking about this. This is very interesting. So, but somebody at Microsoft said, "Hey, let's just give away some small version of Windows 10 that can run on Raspberry Pi." It's like, what?
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I don't know. I'm interested. I'm curious. Who would do this? I don't know.
Yeah, but who would pay for it?
It's not. It's free. I think that this is free. I don't think that
for the first year it's free, right?
Well, this is what the Verge says. They say it's not exactly clear what version of Windows 10 will be available, but Microsoft is handing out free to the maker community through its Windows Developer Program for, I don't know what IoT means.
You're talking about for the Raspberry.
Yeah, later this year with the price.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, with the pricing of the Raspberry Pi 2 and a free copy of Windows 10, you could have a full PC for just $35 later this year. We have to wait to hear more for information from Microsoft on how Windows 10 will function on the Raspberry Pi 2, but the company says it's planning to reveal more in the upcoming months. It's likely that the version of Windows 10 will run only modern universal apps, as the Raspberry Pi 2 includes an ARM-based processor.
Okay.
So interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, when it's in my mind, it's like Windows 10 is not the $150 box on the shelf.
No,
it's apparently that it has more facets of that, and so once again, as a spectator, I'm really enjoying sitting back and kind of watching this play out.
I have a question for you guys, since you guys do this all the time. I was going to call Jeff too and ask him on his Sunday show. Now with Windows 7 coming out, it's going to be free. Do you guys expect to have a boom on installing Windows 10? When it comes out in the fall?
Well, I can speak from my point of view, since I handle networks a little bit differently. I have people are contracted with me for me to manage maintain their networks. I'm not doing like a break fix shop. They will come to me and say, should we do this? And then I will have to play with the Windows 10. So I'm going to have to get a copy of Windows 10 or upgrade a system so I can play with it, so I can find out whether or not it's going to work. I'm probably going to hold off a little bit on it because it needs to be the professional version, because 90% of my clients are on a domain, so I have to have it. It's got to have all of those, all of that stuff that's going to join along with it.
I think you're just your consumer clients, your home users.
I don't know. Are they going to do the same thing they did in Windows XP, where they pushed out a patch where it warned you, hey, by the way, this is going to expire soon? Are they going to do that to Windows 8, 8.1, and 7 by saying, hey, by the way, you can get a free operating system? So now Microsoft's going to blast you with ads on the operating system to remind you to upgrade to the latest operating system.
That's a good question. I wonder how long. Yeah, when it's going to be a while before Windows 7, Windows 8 are expired.
Well, Windows 7 expires in 2020 and ends support in 2020, and 8.1 right now is 2023. And the only reason I know this is because I had a client and we were trying to decide whether we were a 7 or 8.1.
Well, I probably won't be around then.
That's
That's great. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll miss you, Mitch, but at least we weren't surprised. Didn't come as a surprise. You already had the date picked out, and
you remember when Windows 8 expires? That reminds me. I
got to do my will.
Remember Mitch Heyman when for you guys when it's time.
Yeah, we'll be rolling out the final update for Mitch.
The final update.
Yeah. Mitch Heyman will no longer be supported after this date.
I expired a long time. Yeah. Ask my wife.
The shelf life.
The shelf life.
Oh gosh, that's what. Yeah. Hey, nobody ever called Mitch a Twinkie.
They have.
Those things will sit on the shelf forever.
Or Pillsbury Doughboy and stuff.
Oh my.
All right. I think
Yeah.
with that note,
Yeah,
I think we have to call it.
let's do it.
I wasn't feeling very good today, but you guys have definitely lightened my spirits. So
Yes, my heart is warmed to at least 25 degrees.
excellent. Now you can go. Now you can go land to your girlfriend. The car,
I want to know where I've been.
His minivan.
the mini, the truckster, Timster under the truckster.
Not tonight.
No, all right.
Not tonight.
Too
All right,
late.
Mitch. If people want to send us a voicemail like Jeff, if they want to send us an email like Richard, where can they do that?
Oh, that's easy. You can go to podnuts.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's Geeksters at podnuts.com for the email. And keep us filled with those voicemails at 7076-PODNUT or 7076-763-688. I think I read that right. I hope. And if you get this wrong, you just get one podnuts.com/Geeksters. You can get all the information there.
Good save, Mitch.
Yeah, I can't.
Tim, if you want to get a hold of you,
I'm Tim Bauermeister on the G Plus. And you know what? Apparently that people
Oh.
look. What happened? What
we
happened?
forgot your Tim's box.
It's Tim's crazy shelf on the crap on the shelf.
That's it.
Yeah, you know what? It's the. Yeah, we already mentioned it.
Do you want to save it for next time?
Yeah, people know. I think people heard what it was. If they're curious, they already looked it up. If they don't, then they're not going to hang around watching more of this crap.
All right.
Maybe next time around, I'll bring it out, and I have it right here.
Oh no teasers.
Oh no, it's
Keep
right.
that-
It's right.
keep
It's
that-
right
keep
here.
that-
Well,
keep
maybe
that-
it's not right here. Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's.
Maybe it's hidden. Keep that off the camera.
Oh, all right. Yes, sir.
Tim and the G Plus, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm Tim Bauermeister from the Google Plus, and it's awesome. I mean, I keep getting like people are adding me to their circles, and they look like reasonable people, not like serial killers. So I'm thinking people. It's working. So hey, I'm Tim Bauermeister G Plus. You can find me there, Tim Bauermeister.
Sweet. I'm Martin at Obando Computing. You can get me at M Obando in the G Plus, Obando Computing in the chat whenever I'm there. And don't forget, Valentine's Day is coming up. What? I don't know. So many days from now.
14th.
It's on the 14th. I just wanted to throw it out there that if you have Amazon Prime, you can go to podnuts.com/Amazon, buy something. Chocolate doesn't melt in 2 days. It may melt over here because of the warmth, but if you're in Pittsburgh, and chances are
Not going to melt here.
it's not going to melt there. If you're in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, send Mitch or Tim some chocolate. They're going to get it. It's not going to be melted. Podnuts.com/Amazon. I think that was it. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Sweet. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to be gruntled. Bye, guys. I completely forgot about the time. I looked up at the clock and I'm like, oh.
Very good. Very good.
Well, luckily my son sent me a chat and text and he said he wasn't going to go. He wasn't feeling so good.
This is 147. 147. That will be gruntled.
Don't forget to be gruntled.
Yes, fiscal week.
Oh, you know what I forgot to talk about? I can do it next week. My wife bought a smartphone.
Oh, very nice.
Really?
I mean, she just took her daughter. She got, one of the lower end ones at Boost Mobile. But it works hard. It's working pretty good. It's a LG Realm, and it only has 4 gigabytes of storage.
Oh,
So actually, it's really less than that, like 700 some megabytes, really. And but she could put an external card. So there's only a couple things I can move over, but I got to set up so her pictures will go there automatically on a store SD card. But it's pretty snappy for as low end as it is. It's a dual core.
very nice.
But
You know what also works? I only know this because I've done it. If you have a Dropbox account and then have a Dropbox installed on your smartphone, when you open up Dropbox, it'll ask you whether or not it wants to make copies of pictures. So then your wife can take pictures. You can delete all the pictures off of your phone, and they're automatically backed up to Dropbox.
The same thing. Well, it's Google Drive. I mean,
Oh,
Google does the same thing too.
okay, never mind then.
Yeah. But she's got the account, but she don't.
That's actually a really nice feature, and I had both doing it. You just got to make sure you got the space. Because the pictures will fill up quickly. What I like at the Dropbox is that you can have it on. If you take a screenshot with your computer, you can automatically have it to save to your Dropbox. So a screenshot on the PC, or whatever you're using, a screenshot there, bam, goes right in the phone. And I find I use that all the time.
Well, the problem I run into is that my daughter set up with that, and every now and then I'll be going through my Dropbox pictures, and I'm like, what is she taking pictures of?
But that's not. But that will fill up too, because unless you're paying for extra.
Right.
I think. See, I didn't want that. I didn't like it. Like my Google, I'm noticing on Google, on Google Plus, all these pictures are going up. I had to change the setting in there. And but I get like 150 megabytes, or I'm sorry, gigabytes on my Google Drive, because when I bought that phone, it came with the phone for a year. I get an extra 100 gigabytes or something like that. And then I just got the free account with Dropbox. So it's, what is that, 2 or 5 or something?
It's 5 gigs, and
yeah, pictures you can put a lot up on there. I don't
have any problems with it. I mean, as long as I monitor it, I don't have any problems
Right.
with getting crazy out of control.
Yeah, I don't. But the guy at work, he has the same phone my wife got. And I'm looking at his. He's got like 200 and something megabytes free. And I said, John, you need to, try to move over what you can in your pictures. And then the thing is, just get when the updates is going to fill it up, which you can uninstall those. So, but I told Mark, I said, if you wanted to get a better phone, I'll put the money on and get you a better phone if you don't want to stay with them. But she'll see. But I knew once she got into it, she won't want to go back. So
She likes it?
yeah.
Oh, good for her.
That is
What
cool.
was she using before?
Just a regular flip phone, but it wasn't a smartphone.
Okay.
So, she could text on it, but it was a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
Smartphone, it's so easy. She's been Voxing me with her tablet. She only uses her tablet here, but now she can Vox me with the phone.
Well, she loves a tablet, though. I remember you saying that.
Oh, she's on that all the time.
Okay, so the phone's a pretty natural extension of that.
It was the Nexus 7, and the first one didn't have. It's got the front-facing camera. It didn't have the weird rear one. So actually, I was looking for getting her another tablet, but now this cheap phone, it's got both cameras, so kind of solves her, and it's
Nice.
good enough pictures for her.
Cool.
All right, I want to get out of here because I want to
Yep.
get stuff up and get it posted.
All right, guys.
147 of the Geeksters.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out. We'll
All right,
we'll be in touch.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.